Imagine standing in a room full of people, everyone talking, everyone moving, and yet your attention is drawn to one person. Not because she shouts the loudest or because she tries the hardest to be noticed, but because in subtle, almost invisible ways, she sends signals that pull you closer. These are not the signals of casual attraction or fleeting interest. These are the hidden behaviors of a woman who secretly loves you. They are gestures, choices, and quiet moments that reveal the truth of her heart, even when she never says it aloud. Philosopher Byung-Chul Han, often described as the voice of our digital age, reminds us that modern life is overflowing with noise, constant notifications, endless performances on social media, and shallow connections that often replace true intimacy. In this ocean of noise, the real becomes invisible. Love, therefore, does not scream. It whispers. It hides in the gaps. It expresses itself in silence and in the pauses between words. Han teaches us that what is invisible often carries more weight than what is visible. So in today's video, we are going to uncover the 7 things a woman will do when she secretly loves you. These are not the obvious actions. These are not the cliches you see in movies or the dramatic declarations of romance. No, these are the quiet truths, the subtle signs that slip under the surface of everyday interactions. And when you learn to recognize them, you will understand not only how women reveal their emotions but also how Stoic wisdom and Han's philosophy guide us to remain calm, discerning, and grounded in the face of desire. Because the truth is, many men miss these signs. They chase too hard, they overthink, or they ignore the small details that matter most. But if you stay present, if you learn to read what is unspoken, you will never be blind to love again. Let's begin. Part 1. She creates space for you in her world. When a woman secretly loves you, she makes room for you. Not always in dramatic ways, but in small, consistent choices. She finds reasons to include you in her plans. She adjusts her schedule in ways you might not even notice, and she carves out time to be near you, even if she doesn't admit why. Byung-Chul Han writes about the pressure of efficiency in modern society, how people are constantly optimizing their time, filling every moment with productivity, and treating relationships like transactions. In such a world, time becomes the most valuable currency. If she is giving you her time, without an obvious benefit or expectation, understand that this is one of the clearest signs of hidden love. Think about it. In a culture where everyone is too busy, why would she choose to linger around you? Why would she message you when she could be scrolling? Why would she volunteer to help you with something when she could be focusing on herself? Because you are more than just another interaction. You are important enough to disrupt her efficiency. The Stoics often spoke about attention. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily not to waste attention on the trivial but to guard it for what truly matters. When a woman directs her attention to you, even subtly, she is breaking the pattern of modern self-obsession. She is saying, without words, "You matter to me." But remember, her love may not be declared directly. Instead, it appears in her willingness to create space, to share her time, and to let you enter the quiet areas of her life where not everyone is invited. Part 2. She mirrors your energy without realizing it. The second sign is subtle but powerful. She unconsciously mirrors you. Her body language begins to reflect yours. Her tone softens to match yours, and even her rhythm of speaking adapts when she's around you. This is not manipulation. It is psychology. It is the body's natural way of signaling connection. Byung-Chul Han often critiques the world of performance. the way modern individuals craft identities online, posturing for validation, shaping themselves to be liked by strangers. But when someone secretly loves you, the mirroring is not performance. It is unconscious. It cannot be rehearsed. It emerges naturally, without her even being aware. For example, notice when you lean forward during conversation, does she also lean in? When you laugh, does she smile even before she fully understands the joke? When you slow your pace while walking, does she instinctively slow down too? These are not coincidences. They are micro-expressions of deep attraction. Stoicism tells us not to get carried away by appearances, but to look deeper into the essence of things. Here, the essence is not in what she says, but in what she reflects. Her body becomes a silent confession. Her alignment with your rhythm shows that she feels safe in your presence, that her emotions are unconsciously synchronizing with yours. And here is the paradox. She may never say, "I love you," but her body will. And in a world full of noise and artificial gestures, these quiet reflections carry more truth than any words ever could. When a woman secretly loves you, she doesn't just hear what you say, she absorbs it. She remembers the details that most people overlook, the fragments of your life that even you might forget mentioning. Maybe you casually mentioned your favorite snack, a childhood memory, or the way you struggle to wake up early. Weeks later, you'll see her bring it up, or you'll notice her act on it in a way that shows she was listening all along. Byung-Chul Han warns us about the culture of information overload, a world where people consume endless content, scroll through meaningless updates, and yet rarely remember anything of depth. In this culture, true memory becomes rare. But when a woman secretly loves you, she resists this digital amnesia. You do not become just another notification. You become someone whose words are worth storing, worth replaying in her mind. Think about it. In a society where people forget conversations within minutes, if she remembers the exact way you like your coffee, the music you once said calms you, or the story about your family struggles, that's not random. That's intention. That's love disguised as attention. The Stoics believed that love is revealed not through declarations but through deeds. Marcus Aurelius wrote about the importance of aligning actions with values, of showing one's character in what one does, rather than in what one claims. So when she recalls your smallest truths and honors them with her actions, she is silently showing what words cannot. I hold you in my mind. I value you. And understand this clearly. Casual interest fades fast, but memory is an act of loyalty. Her remembering is proof of her hidden devotion. Part 4. She shows vulnerability. Only with you. The fourth sign is perhaps the most delicate. She allows herself to be vulnerable in your presence. Maybe she shares fears she never tells others. Maybe she reveals her insecurities. Or maybe she simply lets her guard down when the world expects her to keep it up. Byung-Chul Han writes about the tyranny of positivity in modern culture, the way people are forced to perform strength, happiness, and perfection at all times, especially online. Everyone is expected to project confidence, beauty, and success, hiding all cracks and weaknesses. Vulnerability then becomes a radical act. If she is showing you her unpolished self, if she is opening the door to her real emotions, the messy, imperfect ones, that is no accident. She is telling you, I trust you enough to be real. And trust is the soil in which secret love grows. Notice how she might come to you after a bad day, or how she seeks your presence when she feels anxious or overwhelmed. She may not confess her love outright, but she confesses it in her willingness to break the mask she shows to others. With you, she doesn't need filters. With you, she feels safe enough to collapse a little, to cry, to laugh awkwardly, or to admit her failures. The Stoics, often mistaken for emotionless, actually placed great value on inner strength, not in hiding emotions, but in facing them with courage. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Yet mastery doesn't mean suppression. It means being unafraid to show one's truth. If she is unveiling her truth with you, it is a hidden sign of love more authentic than any public performance. Because the paradox of love is this: the stronger the feeling, the more fragile the heart becomes. Her vulnerability is not weakness. It is her hidden strength directed toward you. Part 5. She defends you in your absence. The Ba-ki. Fifth sign is one most men never notice because it happens when they're not around. She defends you when others speak poorly of you. Whether it's friends joking at your expense, people doubting your abilities, or someone questioning your worth, a woman who secretly loves you will not remain silent. She may not confront them loudly, but she will quietly resist any attempt to diminish you. Byung-Chul Han points out that modern relationships are often infected by negativity masked as irony. In social groups, sarcasm and mockery are common currencies. People subtly put each other down while pretending it's harmless. But a woman who loves you cannot allow your image to be casually disrespected, even under the mask of humor. Her loyalty expresses itself when she guards your name as if it were her own. Think about it. She has no obligation to defend you. She gains nothing from it. And yet her instinct is to protect your dignity in front of others. That is not casual behavior. That is loyalty born from affection. The Stoics valued reputation not as vanity but as reflection of character. Seneca advised that we should live in such a way that no one's words can stain us. But when someone else steps in to guard your reputation, it shows that they see your worth so clearly that they cannot let others blur it. So if you hear that she spoke well of you in a room you weren't in, or if you notice that she quietly changes the subject when others make jokes at your expense, take note. That is love acting behind closed doors. That is affection strong enough to defend you, even when you cannot see it. And here lies the truth. Words spoken in your absence often reveal the heart more than words spoken in your presence. Her secret love speaks most loudly when she protects you where you are blind. Part 6. She becomes restless. When you are distant, when a woman secretly loves you, she feels your absence more strongly than she admits. Maybe she won't chase you openly or demand your attention, but her energy shifts when you withdraw. She might check in with small excuses, react differently to your silence, or become unusually quiet when you seem detached. Byung-Chul Han talks about the crisis of presence in our digital era. We are surrounded by constant messages, likes, and notifications, yet we rarely feel truly present with one another. In this world of shallow connection, genuine absence feels like a wound. If your silence unsettles her, if she notices when you pull away and subtly tries to bridge the gap, it is not casual. It is love revealing itself through restlessness. Pay attention to how she reacts when you are not around. Does she become more attentive when you return? Does she drop small hints of disappointment that you didn't reach out? Does she suddenly bring up topics just to keep you engaged? These are not signs of weakness. They are quiet acknowledgments of how much your presence matters to her. The Stoics remind us not to cling desperately to anyone, for all things are temporary. Yet they also acknowledged the natural bonds of human affection. Seneca wrote, "We are members of one great body, and nature made us to help one another. When she feels your absence and longs for your return, it shows she sees you not as a stranger passing through her life, but as someone tied to her inner world. Her restlessness is not a demand. It is a reflection of her care. It shows that your presence carries weight in her heart, even when she cannot put it into words. Part 7. She expresses her love through sacrifice. The final and perhaps most profound sign is sacrifice. A woman who secretly loves you will give up something of value, whether it is her time, her comfort, or her convenience, just to make your life easier, even if you never ask. It may appear small on the surface, staying up late to talk when she is tired, helping you when she has her own burdens, or choosing your company over something else she could be doing. But sacrifice is the deepest form of hidden love. Byung-Chul Han critiques today's culture of narcissism and self-performance, where everyone is encouraged to prioritize their own image, comfort, and pleasure. In such a world, true sacrifice becomes rare. That's why, when a woman secretly loves you, her willingness to inconvenience herself for your sake is such a powerful signal. It goes against the grain of modern self-centeredness. The Stoics taught that love is not about possession, but about virtue. Real affection is shown through actions that align with values such as loyalty, generosity, and courage. Epictetus reminded us that what matters most is not what happens to us, but how we respond to others. When she responds to your needs with sacrifice, even if no one notices, she is demonstrating the quiet courage of love. Understand this clearly. Words are cheap, gestures are fleeting, but sacrifice costs something real. And it is in what she gives up for you that her secret love reveals itself most unmistakably. So now let us return to the question: how does a woman show her love when she cannot say it out loud? The answer is not in dramatic speeches or exaggerated displays. It is in the subtle, consistent signs, the quiet whispers beneath the noise of the world. She creates space for you in her life. She mirrors your energy unconsciously. She remembers what you forget about yourself. She trusts you with her vulnerability. She defends you in your absence. She feels your distance and longs for your presence. And above all, she sacrifices for you even when no one else is watching. Byung-Chul Han teaches us that in today's hyper-digital, noisy world, the invisible often carries more truth than the visible. And the Stoics remind us that wisdom lies in seeing beyond appearances into the essence of things. When you combine these insights, you begin to understand love not as loud performance but as quiet devotion. If you learn to recognize these 7 signs, you will never again doubt when a woman's heart secretly belongs to you. Because real love, unlike performance, does not need to announce itself. It simply reveals itself in silence, in action, and in sacrifice. And remember, a Stoic man does not chase love desperately. He recognizes it calmly, honors it wisely, and returns it with strength and virtue. That is the way to see clearly, to love deeply, and to live free.